Here we go on a Wednesday, home of the World Series champion, Dodgers. This is the Herd, wherever you may be and however you may be listening. We're on Fox Sports Radio and FS1. It is so great to have you in here today. Los Angeles, Lakers a title, Dodgers a title. Why get out of bed for second place? It's unbelievable, the entertainment capital of the world. Joy Taylor, how are you?
I'm great. Congrats to Dodgers fans.
That was amazing.
Lots of Dodgers fans.
This was not like the Lakers where you go out and get LeBron, AD, and win. Dodger fans have lived through this for 7 years. This is their, third trip to the World Series in 4 years?
They've been very patient. They deserve it. They were a great team. Mookie was spectacular. It was a great World Series.
So let's start with this. The big story, of course, is the Rays pitcher, Blake Snell. He's their ace. He is great. He is just mowing everybody down. And they pull him in the 6th and put in a reliever who had been struggling. This, of course, is called analytics. The numbers say Mookie Betts was coming up, and you don't want him to have to face Mookie Betts a third time. Oh, boy. I get analytics for a regular season. I have always questioned analytics for postseason, NBA, baseball. As a consumer, when you watch that game last night in the World Series, does it feel different than a regular season baseball game? Oh, it does. There's more drama, more pressure and intensity. That's because it also feels different for the athlete. I parent one way 99% of the time. I let my kids make mistakes. But Dad parents differently. The 1% were in crisis. Dad takes over. I read books on how to parent. They inform me. They don't own me. They don't control me. Analytics are great information, but they value long-term data, not short-term reality. Okay, Blake Snell is a great American athlete. Nick Anderson is an average relief pitcher. And in America, we write sports books about Jeter and LeBron and Michael and the late Kobe and Shaq. And we write them about Ted Williams and Babe Ruth. We write them about Brady and Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson. And what do all those have in common? They are great athletes who rise to the level, even in later years, to shock us. We do not write sports books about average professional athletes hoping in the moment they finally deliver against Mookie Betts. That's not what we write books about. We write them about the legends, LeBron and Brady, who in that last hurrah win another title. You don't take Blake Snell out there. It's one thing to be guided by analytics. It's another to be controlled by them. If you don't think that sucked the energy out of the Rays and empowered the Dodgers, here's the manager, Dave Roberts, his reaction after the game when the Rays took out their ace.
I was pretty happy because he was dominating us and we just weren't seeing him. So, once Austin got that hit, then they went to the pen. I think that Mookie looked at me with a little smile, and we were just all kind of excited that Snell was out of the game.
I mean, hello. Again, I want in the biggest moments, this is not a regular season game, game 28, 36, 42. Okay, this is the moment. There's a guidebook for pilots on how to land a plane. When the engine goes out, Sully Sullenberger, the guidebook doesn't matter. You land it, whatever it takes. And in that moment, you get to game 6 of the series, you face Mookie Betts, the analytic book doesn't matter. The last 2 NBA seasons, the 3 players that have led teams to championship, LeBron, AD, and Kawhi Leonard, the Lakers believe in the three-point shot. So did Toronto. But in the finals, in the moment of clarity to win it, the Raptors and the Lakers get a stop and get a basket. The analytic 3-ball guidebook is out the window. It's great to get you places, long-term data, but short-term reality is AD, we're going to feed it to you down low 3 straight times. We'll take 3 buckets, 6 points, instead of 3 shots, potentially 9. But in this moment, against that defense in the NBA Finals, where there's more intensity, drama, expectations, and tightness, you may not have your best shot. Again, I want all the information. It's not going to control me. Here's Cody Bellinger when Blake Snell was pulled out, a player of the Dodgers, what he thought.
Yeah, I was shocked. We were kind of joking around. We were like, all right, way to get him out of there in the 6th like we planned. But not like that. But, yeah, and then we just kind of we rallied from there. And Snell had his stuff today. He was gross. So, yeah, I would say that it uplifted us. Yeah.
Championships should be won by stars and players, not managers and guidebooks. By the way, the funny thing about analytics is it's always about the pitcher. Baseball people will tell you Mookie Betts, a great player, a right-hander, actually can't hit lefties. He didn't have a home run all year against lefties. If you really want to go deep into analytics, Blake Snell was perfect for Mookie Betts. He has struggled all year as a right-handed batter to hit left-handers. All right, let's start. Now, people throw stuff out all the time. Your team's average or bad, and we're getting close to the NFL trading deadline. And when I used to do local radio, and I worked in Portland, I had only one rule. You could not call my show and just come up with a trade and then say, I'll take your answer off the air. You can't just call my show and go, okay, I want LeBron James, and I'll give you a bench player. I'll take your answer off the air. So I started banning that call. No trade suggestions. But occasionally you will see a trade suggestion and go, oh, wow, that makes perfect sense. Here's one on the interweb, Pro Football Talk. Would the Cowboys trade Amari Cooper, wide receiver? I would tomorrow, and I've got a team. The Green Bay Packers. Does Green Bay, ask yourself, what is the standard of Green Bay? I would say it's Super Bowls. This is a franchise that aims for Super Bowls. Do they want to win one? Okay. We saw them play Tampa. Can they beat Tampa with this current roster? No, they cannot. They cannot beat Tampa with this current roster. Amari Cooper is a need, and by the way, he's expensive, but you can get out of the contract after next year. Look at the arms race currently happening just in the NFC. Tampa Bay now with Antonio Brown has 3 number 1 receivers. Seattle has Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf. They've got 2 number 1 receivers. The Rams have 3 to 4 very competent receivers. The Saints have Alvin Kamara, who's half receiver, half back, Michael Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders. By the way, Arizona now has won 7 of 10. Christian Kirk, D-Hop, Kyler Murray's a weapon. And you're going to go with Devontae Adams, who gets hurt fairly regularly, and a bunch of guys who are 2 and 3 receivers. And if you got to the Super Bowl, Kansas City and Pittsburgh are loaded with weapons. The NFL rules are changing. They're changing. This is not 1985 football. God, it's not 2015 football. It is all about offense. Green Bay has to admit, this is hard for general managers to do. They butchered their number 2 pick in the draft. They needed a receiver. They got stubborn. They chose a running back who is now number 3 on their depth chart. He was number 4 before the season started. This is a perfect deal. Dallas needs picks. Dallas needs to rebuild. They need picks. They don't need wide receivers. Green Bay doesn't need picks. You got 2 more, 3 more elite years with Aaron Rodgers. You need weapons for Aaron. You don't need developing players. You just need more weapons. Same situation Tampa's in. That's why they're getting Antonio Brown. You can't just sit and wait and develop people. Get Brady stars now. Get Aaron stars now. Dallas, once again, you are in a rebuild, whether you want to admit it or not. Amari Cooper, with the emergence of CeeDee Lamb and young Michael Gallup, makes complete sense. Green Bay, you pay a little, you don't love free agents. This guy, this personality, his work ethic, his ability to get open is perfect for the Packers, and I think changes how everybody around the league would view them. Coming up next, LeBron and Tom Brady. I'm on this constantly, have a lot more in common than you think. Have you seen the official pro PFF grades of quarterbacks? Russell Wilson Rodgers and number 3 Tom Brady. That's coming up. What's the difference between a Mercedes-AMG skeptic and a Mercedes-AMG believer? A split second, that's all it takes. The time it takes to get inside an AMG for the first time, to fire up the ignition, step on the gas, and hear the gutsy engine roar. 1 second a race car engine in a Mercedes-Benz SUV. Whose bright idea was that? A split second later, because whoever thought of it is a genius. 1 second. Why would I want a sedan that growls like a bear? A split second later, why would I not? Mercedes-AMG. It may not make a lot of sense on paper, but it makes perfect sense on the pavement. Learn more at mbusa.com/AMG. Mercedes-AMG. Driving performance.